Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with me, Gary Lineker, Alan Shearer. No Micah Richards because we've got a proper defender in today. We have a very special guest. He's a 6-time Premier League winner and a Champions League winner as well. I'm sure you've worked it out. It's England and Manchester United legend, Rio Ferdinand.
Hi guys.
Great to have you on.
It's been a while. I've been waiting ages for this. I've been wondering when my turn's going to come up.
Well, yeah.
And he was fucking late, by the way, wasn't he?
Well, he was doing. You were doing something this morning, weren't you?
Yeah, I was with Juan Mata doing a bit of charity. So let me off, eh?
Yeah, well, it's for charity.
It's a common goal actually. It's a really great initiative.
It is actually.
We're collaborating through another one of my businesses called We Are 8. So watch this space.
Yeah, you've been all over Germany for this one, haven't you? I've spent quite a lot of time in Dusseldorf.
Yeah, Dusseldorf, because there's a lot of games around there, cluttered around that area, Dortmund, etc. So that's where we've been staying. We've been working with UEFA as well on. They've got a legends kind of package that they work at, bring loads of legends, flying them in and out for games, and we're just doing loads of little content around those guys. Yeah. So it's been good.
What are you doing there?
Yeah, with 5. I'm the interviewer. I'm not a legend. No, with 5, we film all the stuff and then we distribute it and put it out there. So it's been really good, man.
It's been a good tournament. England are in the final. Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you'd have said it's been a good tournament as we got to the knockout stages, I'd have said no, it ain't. It was boring, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was bored. I've got to be honest. Nothing really excited me other than a couple of young lads.
The first round of matches were good, and then the next 2 rounds.
Yeah, I just found it was a bit underwhelming, and then obviously knockout stages it kind of lit up a bit, and here we are, England are in the final. I can't wait.
What have you made of the grounds and atmosphere and fans, and because you've been travelling around?
Yeah, like I've been in the pubs and the bars and stuff like that. So like it's absolutely like crazy, bonkers. Like the Georgian fans, the Albanians, obviously the Dutch is well documented, but those the smaller nations have been ridiculous, and they're so friendly. Turkish fans make crazy, huge population of Turkish people here, and obviously the English fans when they came down to Dusseldorf. Amazing times.
It's just the friendliest in terms of the fans that you've noticed. It seems that they're getting on. You see pictures, don't you, with the Dutch would like singing with the English fans, and we've never really had that before.
It just felt really like party vibes. I don't know what it was. For me, it's been like a stag do. I've got to be honest here. I feel like I've been drinking beer every day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, tell us about Dusseldorf, because you said it's great. It's fun.
If anyone's got a weekend, go. I'm telling you, because you've got like a bit of a Bond Street posh area, line of a road with loads of shops on with nice hotels. Then behind that, you've got like a Magaluf strip, right? And then which is unreal, right? And then you've got like you've got a river with loads of like riverside bars and a few restaurants, which is nice. We're in the middle, so you've got the best of like 3 worlds there. It's unreal. Yeah, really good.
What do you think of England?
I think they've just grown into the tournament. I mean, if I could have gone, you know what, let's pick a way of working through this tournament that isn't perfect but gets us to the final. This is probably it in terms of starting slow, so taking expectations down maybe a little bit. And at each and every single game, we've introduced somebody from the squad to be part of the team, if you know what I mean. Do you know when we were in the squads and you've always got your first 11 or 12, 13 players, and there's normally a few that don't get involved and feel a little bit detached from the group. But with penalties and with last-minute goals, the substitutions that Gareth's been like ridiculously done really well with, they've just they're adding people to that first core group that I think makes you so much stronger, and they're in a wonderful place now.
You were part of the golden generation.
Yeah.
It didn't quite happen.
Yeah.
Do you see a difference in the way that the team and the squad are together nowadays? Because I've heard you talk in the past about it was a little bit cliquey. There was a Man United group and a Liverpool group and an Arsenal group. And do you see a difference?
Yeah, it was the same in our time. Yeah. Like the table, you go down and there was a Man United table. Then you had like Arsenal, a few Liverpool players and that. And then you had ours group, which Gareth was a part of. And it just like...
you with Gareth very well?
And it's just like, as a newbie, I walked in and was like, well, where the hell do I go?
Really?
Like, that's what you feel like. And it's just like, whoever makes eye contact first actually got to go on their table. I was with like Wrighty and Les, Jamie Redknapp, Robbie Fowler. So the stragglers really. But it was, and then my generation was very much more driven by club rivalries. Like you had the Man United guys, then you had the Chelsea guys at the time. Then you had some of the Arsenal boys, Liverpool lads as well. So it was really we were all just our own separate entities, really.
So was there even a rivalry within the camp, did you sense? Because I find that it certainly wasn't like that when I played.
Maybe was it subconscious? I don't know, but there was an undertone of rivalry. I could sit there and would sense that Cara and Stevie really didn't want to chat to me, or didn't like. They'd tolerate me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't knock my door and go, "Really fancy a coffee?" No chance. And I would knock theirs.
Do you find that strange or difficult at the time?
It was just, I don't know. We just, do you know what it is? We didn't have someone like Gareth who could knit us together. Do you know what I mean? We didn't have a manager that maybe put importance on the group being more knitted together and maybe done things to kind of make sure that we were welded together and became a group and forgot the outside noise. You've got to remember that we're going to a camp with England and the manager's going, if you play more than 45, you ain't playing Saturday. That's how the gaffer was. It was so, and that then becomes ingrained in you. You just start thinking, I want to win the league though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you're going with England, you're there for 5 days or 6 days and you go back to your club. So like,
did Draxis put pressure on you perhaps not to go if you felt you were a little bit?
No, he never said don't go. He just said, listen, manage your minutes. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, there was no uncertainty.
But that's not the player's choice really, is it?
No, it isn't. But again, you normally have 2 games on a trip.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like, you could go to the manager and say, listen, I'm a bit tired, maybe the second game, I don't know. If you could say that. I never done that, but I do know that it happened. But your club rivalry almost just kind of it overtook the importance somehow of building a group with England. And I think that was our biggest problem because the standard of player
that's perhaps why you weren't ultimately successful.
Because you see even these guys today, they're under pressure, the media, us, they're not happy that we've said X, Y, and Z. Siege mentality galvanizes them, but there's a coming together. We never once had that. Where if there was things said in the media, it's like about, I don't know, Stevie or Frank or whoever, you kind of leave them to deal with it because I ain't got that relationship with them. And it's not, England, it's like, well, he's a Liverpool player. Subconsciously, I never ever went out of my way to think like that. I think it just happened.
I think that the 2 things that Gareth has been through as an England player, that what Rio's just said about the togetherness and all of that,
maybe
the clicks
from
and
that.
what have you, and the other thing is penalty shootouts.
Yeah,
the 2 things that have been brilliant of that Gareth has changed as the mentality now and the togetherness and obviously the penalty shootouts.
I don't remember many times you go to a squad where everyone's bouncing to be at the squad, to be there and to meet up. It used to be like, got to come, because we never played well together.
Yeah.
Games were really hard. And I just always, and I look at this group now, they look like they can't wait to get there. Yeah. Meeting up with my pals. It's like a youth club. It never felt like that with us. No. Do you know what I mean? It was weird.
I mean, the plays you had as well.
We got called the golden generation, but you look at the squads we were playing against. Look at the French team.
Oh, no.
Look at the eventual winners, the Brazil team. Well, if we were the golden generation, what would
Brazil team was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Crazy.
Ronaldinho, Ronaldo.
Yeah, Rivaldo, Cafu, Roberto Carlos. It was an endless name of superstars. But we had a wonderful group who were super talented, great characters for their clubs. But we never managed to kind of bring that all together under one roof with England, unfortunately. And I think it was just a club rivalry that really stopped that. Also, the management that we had, I think then.
Sven at the time really was the main guy.
Sven, Capello.
Yeah.
I think their tactics were very rigid. I keep saying this. We would go to Belarus or Albania and get popped off the park and we'll come off and go, how hard was that? And these fellas were going to work the next day, some of them. And it shouldn't be like that. No. But we were just... Our tactics were so rigid. Sometimes I look at it and you think, it doesn't matter how talented you are, if you're not, the pieces aren't put in the right place, it makes it very difficult to perform.
I think early in the tournament, people were perhaps saying similar things about this England side. And I remember you talking, I've had lots of conversations over the years about the way England used to play. And I remember distinctly, it always stuck in my mind, and it reminds me a little bit perhaps of John Stones now, where you said, that Sven said to you, you carry on.
Yeah, no. We were walking off. We done it. I think it was my second off training session with Sven Goran Eriksson. We were all excited to play for Italian football. And Italian football was like, when he was there, was big. Coming off the training ground, and he just pulled me and we started walking slowly off the training ground. And he said, Rio, my centre backs don't run with the ball. If you want to play for England with me, don't run with the ball. And that was my game. Like running out and committing someone and then playing to the spare man.
Well, if you run out as a central defender, that something has to happen on their midfield to go towards you, and that creates space for other midfield players.
Yeah. And it really kind of nullified a big part of my game. But I want to play for England. Do you know what I mean? I want to get as many caps as I can. I want to be successful for England. So you can play, you kind of go, okay, I'll just do what you ask then. And and that maybe contributed to as to why we were so rigid as well.
And do you think it was also one of the reasons why he could never quite get Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard into the same midfield, because he had a rigid four in midfield as well?
4-4-2.
Whereas nowadays, obviously with those kind of players, you'd probably blend in, work out a tactic that suits them, because the game's changed a little bit.
Well, I think, no disrespect to those managers, but if Glenn Hoddle was a manager of that group of players, we get to a final.
He was a great coach, wasn't he?
He was an unreal coach. As a coach.
Yeah.
Forget not a manager. I'm not talking as on the training field with your boots on the grass. He was ridiculous. He saw things other people could dream of.
We've sat next to him so many times when we've covered the Champions League over the years, and while the game's going on, he's talking, and he just sees things, doesn't he? In that kind of way. I played with him. He played like that as well. I mean, he was just.
He saw pictures others couldn't see.
He was the best passer of the ball. I think
he was actually the best player in training when he was manager.
Yeah,
he was pissed a few people off.
Yeah.
Do you know? You just go back to your time when you compare your time when you came into my squad as a youngster, and then you went on, did what you had to do. In tournaments, we always hear you got to blank out the noise. I mean, that hasn't changed from my time, your time, my time, and your time, and it's happening now, isn't it? I mean, is it more now? Is it because of social media, or what?
I was talking to someone about this the other day.
I'll tell a little story quickly, because I mentioned it the other day, is that I would spend time with Theo Walcott after the game. And he was saying, when I rang him up when he made his debut in 2006, my advice to him, or one of my pieces of advice was blank out the noise, don't listen to all of that. And I'm thinking, back in 2006, but it's always been that way, because people care so passionately about the national team, and they so want them to do well. It's like all these things, even your own club side, you're more critical of your own club side than you are of anyone else because you care. And that's the same for pundits. And we've all had that in their career, and the players will know that sort of stuff. Did you ever notice that kind of
I mean,
noise?
Going into the squad with Glenn Hoddle, he used to say it's us against them.
Yeah.
That's what he used to say about the press. It's them against us. Don't give them anything. But I look at it now and I think, are these lads going through anything like what the squads that we had with Becks or with Wazza at times?
The Beckham thing was unbelievable, wasn't it?
Like, are we anywhere near that? I don't think we are.
No.
I don't think there's the venom. When I look at the criticism around this team in this tournament, I can't remember it being anything vindictive or personal. It's tactical analysis, a lot of it. And I look at the squads that I was in and previous to me with you guys, Turnip Head, Graham Taylor, Wally with the brolly. Like, this is personal stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's a bit different. The only thing I would say is that these guys can't get away from it. We'd read a paper and see you later. These guys, or you went on CFAX or something like that. But now it's always on media. So I think that's a difference where it can really overcome you and really be like overwhelming.
Did it affect you?
Yeah, I think I'd be lying if I said it didn't. The pressure, I think it was more the pressure, like knowing that, do you know what it was? It was like they were waiting for you to foul. That's what it felt like with England, the media. And it wasn't social media. It was like the journalists sitting there with their pen sharpening their knives. That's what it felt like. When you walked into a press conference with England, you felt like they were sharpening their knives, all waiting there with smug looks on their face to say how bad you were, just to pick something out of you. That's what it really felt like. And that pressure mounted. And because you knew the influence they had on the fans to create a certain atmosphere, which was really negative and toxic. So I understand with you, and I sympathise with the players when it feels like it's getting that. Because I think during this tournament, it started to feel like it was just going to push towards that. But the results, the last-minute goals, really got them away from that and went positive.
It's probably something that Gareth Southgate deserves a lot of credit for, isn't it? You know, the way he's got the team together.
Yeah, man. I mean, like what he's done has been like nothing short of almost a miracle, because no one could get the England squads to feel like they were a family and a club feel. And all the other teams that win, Spain are a great example. They became like David De Gea he couldn't wait to leave United to go and join up with the national team. And we used to sit there scratching our heads like, how is he? What have they created?
Maybe he just didn't like your company.
Maybe that, yeah. But it's just like we used to scratch our heads and think, how are they bouncing to these squads? And we just like a lot of our players are dragging their heels.
Was there never a point where the players said, "Come on, why don't we all get together here or sort it out"?
No, I don't think any of us were big enough to do it in terms of like, I don't know, right? None of us could rise above it. Maybe I think, and the power of the club and the Premier League to win that was so strong that he just stopped it.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gareth, what he's done there in managing media, he's been brilliant at. He's managed the players and created that environment for them to go to. I think he deserves huge credit. And then even now, on the pitch, he deserves even more credit for the substitutions that he's made this tournament. I mean, he's won games.
Yes.
People think that managers, he has won games.
Yeah. Which is the one thing perhaps in previous tournaments you could level at him as a criticism because he'd not managed to turn games. I mean, some people say, his substitutions are still a bit late, but
they're getting a job done.
They've all worked, so you just go big tick, well played.
Exactly.
Yeah. And even from the penalty situation, from what happened in 2021 to the penalty situation that we had the other day when he changed the players, give them enough time to come on and play, get into the game, and ultimately that's worked, doesn't it?
And won a penalty shootout as well.
I know. And like you say, he's been through that, so he knows the magnitude of that and the impact it can have.
Yeah.
Who's impressed you for England?
Kobbie Mainoo's been a joke.
He's been amazing.
He's been sensational. He's like, for a kid, 18 years old. I spent quite a bit of time with his family, actually, a couple of different times in this tournament. And you can see their input into him is definitely telling, like calm, level people.
Yeah, isn't
And that's the way he goes out there on the pitch. It's like, to be that calm, we know it's like we go out there for England in a tournament, the pressure's crazy. He's playing like it's just normal to him. Like, it's
so
phenomenal.
relaxed.
Yeah, he's a beautiful player to watch. He always does something in the game that you go, not many are going to do that. Not many can do that. Not many can be that composed in them areas under pressure. Foden, I think, has grown into it and showing glimpses of what we've seen in the Man City shirt. I think Mark Gay has been the most consistent performer from start to finish. He's been ridiculous. And again, first tournament for him as well.
Yeah.
So he's been great. Saka's been explosive at times and been probably one of the players that we've looked to create openings. But I think those ones are the ones that stand out for me. Declan's been solid, I think. Declan gets a bad rap, I think. Oh, he doesn't play this, doesn't play that. But I think without him...
He's essential, isn't he?
Yeah, without him, I don't know what we do. Who plays that role in this squad in terms of importance? So, they're the guys that jump off the page for me.
I suppose the concerns before the tournament, I ask you as a central defender, everyone was a little bit worried in that area. But you mentioned Mark Gay stepped in alongside John Stones, and it's kind of become the strong part of the team. Yeah,
well, we're not giving up loads of chances. One of the best defensive records in the tournament. And I think, again, that's down to the shape, to obviously the individuals at the back. Pickford as well has made a couple of good saves at times. But yeah, I think that was just weird. It was an area we were worried about. But one thing I would say is that I haven't seen a number 9 come out of this tournament with any glowing reports.
No, it's very
There's no
true.
number 9 I've gone, oh my God, who's actually putting centre-halves under pressure and really going, right, come on, let's go toe-to-toe.
There's not a
Hasn't
Haaland.
happened. No, it hasn't happened. And that makes for an easier day at the office for centre-backs, 100%. But you still got to go out and do your thing.
Yeah. How have you seen the tactical side of things with this England side and the way he's changed from the formation that was a bit unbalanced and not working to the boxing midfield?
Yeah, I think that's been pivotal in changing the way and the dynamic of the team. I think that all we were talking about before was the lack of cohesion in this team, playing like they were all strangers at first, wasn't they? It was like the distances between the players was huge. None of the players looked anything like they do at club level. And it just reminded me a lot of the teams that I played in tournaments, like just disjointed. But then it just clicked. And I think that there was moments, obviously, the penalty shootout, but the last minute goals as well. Also a change of formation, I think helped them. And the players seem much better in that change of formation. But that rotations between Kobbie Mainoo and Phil Foden, I think, are huge in that. So we're not rigid. I think the best teams in today's football have structure, but then there's the ability for people to rotate and then you ask questions of your opponents. Do you know where I'm going to be?
Rice is an important part of that because he's your anchor.
Yeah, and he allows the others to move like that because he's always going to be there. And I think it's important when I don't know what it's like you centre forwards, but when you look behind you and you knew where people were going to be, I think it's a big thing in terms of confidence for other people in the team. And I think Declan does that because he allows others to go and just be a bit free.
With your travelling around and seeing different teams play, you'd have to say Spain have been the best, haven't they?
Yeah, by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% by far. With and without the ball, by the way. Like their press and their counter press when they lose possession is phenomenal. Like it's the best in the tournament. So they look like a team whose coach knows all of the players, and he does. He coached them under 17s, I think under 19s, 20s, and won stuff with all of these players. So he's got a real in-depth knowledge and understanding of all these individuals as players, but also people. And it looks like that because they play like a club team almost, like a team that know every single phase of the game. And I think it's going to be difficult, I think, for England. I think England can beat them, but they do scare me a bit because they are such a good team.
You came into an England squad as a 16-year-old, didn't you? Just to come in and learn and what?
In the Euros, yeah.
In the Euro 96, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, unreal.
Came into our squad as a 16-year-old.
Yamal.
Yeah.
Just about to say. I was just about to say that he's come into as a squad as a 16-year-old, but he's actually playing and starring and like one of the performers of the tournament at 16.
Unreal. And if I think back to when I came to that squad, right? So the mobiles weren't really a thing then. It's that long ago for anyone listening who's a bit young. But you used to get an allowance on the phone in your room, didn't you?
Yeah.
It's carrier pigeon.
Yeah, mate. It's unbelievable. Right? So I was sitting there finishing training with like these guys these guys were like on my wall as like posters and sticker books and stuff like that. So I'm getting back to my room and I'm thinking about Lamine Yamal, what he must be doing. I'd probably be on this now, but I would be going like to my mates, oh my God, Alan Shearer eats broccoli. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I've seen, by the way, Gaza, he plays double-handed at table tennis. It's unreal. Like I saw him having a bottle of wine actually before the game against Holland, night before. Like just reporting. I was like a little mini reporter back home.
Yeah.
And if you think back to something
you were
like
doing your 5 stuff back then.
Exactly.
You practicing.
Yeah. But you look at Lamine Yamal now and you think like, I was so in awe and I was overcome with like, just wow.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even seem like that. It's just like he's been here before. He's expecting to be this guy and expecting to be the man, by the way. Did you see him walking into the press conference after? He's got a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mask in his hand. and the guy chaperoning him see it and goes, oh, takes it off him.
Really?
No, not here. Like he was going to put it on or something like that. Like, to mock Mbappe maybe or something like that. Do you know what I mean? I was thinking, wow, like this kid's got some bollocks. Do you know what I mean?
Or maybe,
Sorry.
or maybe Rabiot.
Say what you want on it.
Maybe Rabiot,
maybe
yeah.
it's something he was going to have a pop at
something.
Rabiot after he had a little dig at him, didn't he? How good can he be?
Do you know what I've seen? Obviously online we see all these clips and I've seen clips when he scored a goal not too dissimilar to the one he scored against France when he's under 17s. And then you've seen clips of him when he was like 9. He's playing exactly the same as he did then and doing exactly the same things as he did then. His decision-making looked brilliant then as well. His weight of pass looked good, just as not as much power. But everything seems like he's just shifted it. A bit like Kobbie Mainoo, the same. If you look at clips of when they're younger, they've just shifted the same playing skills and techniques and just gone up on age group. Yeah. And look seamless.
Against men.
Yeah, against men. And the one thing I think
I hadn't gone through puberty when I was 60.
You were still hiding in the showers, weren't you?
Very much so. Yeah, absolutely.
I think he could be anything because I don't think he doesn't allow for contact. That's one of the things I've noticed as well. When you see him get smashed, really, he doesn't really. He releases the ball before you can get to him. His movement before he gets the ball gives him that space to get a yard, and he's passing. It's like
I know.
It's
next
unreal.
superstar.
Yeah, I think because I think he's got the bollocks to be as well.
Yeah,
he's got that.
He loves it. He knows. He knows how good he is.
Yeah, like even his comments after Rabiot, give him a bit.
Yeah.
They win the game. He scores. Yeah. And he gives him some back on social media. If I was an attacker, that'd be me.
At 16,
that's a joke.
Mad.
I wish I was an attacker, seriously, with social media. I would torment people night before games and after games and everything.
Mind you, the lad on the other side is not bad either, is he? Williams. Nico Williams.
Pays. The only thing with him is I think Carl Walker can deal with someone like him. He's shown he can deal with the best in the world, the quickest in the world. And his main threat is pace.
How do England deal with the 2 wide men tactically? Because if you've got 3, do you make perhaps the two wide players,
And play
Gay and
1v1.
Walker, if they still play the same system, of course.
What, and go 1v1.
But that's brave because
you've got Olmo.
Or do you wing backs drop deep and then you end up with a 5 at the back and you get hemmed in?
Or do you go 4 at the back?
Exactly.
But we haven't played our best football with 4 at the back, really. Or we have, but we've played some good football. But we seem more comfortable with a 5. But I think that you've got to get to these wingers quick. Because I think if Williams comes inside, he gives Walker a bigger problem. The moment he stays out wide and isolates himself, I think if Walker's, you can deal with that, I think, better. But I think we've got to get to their wide players, and we've got to make sure when their wide players get on the ball and they do get their heads up, people have to attach themselves to people like Olmo and Morata, because the goals that you've seen, they're getting in pockets where you think, I'd need you to be tighter there. I want your arms on these guys to make sure. But listen, it's difficult, easier to said than done. But I think once the wide players get on the ball, it's like, where's everybody? Because these boys can play, they can pass, they see a pass as well.
Yeah. You wonder whether the lack of experience perhaps will
help us,
affect them in some way. But then England have got young players as well.
Also, they've got Rodri.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about him.
Yeah,
well.
He's the best conductor.
He is, isn't he?
In the game, I think he's actually the most valuable player right now in football.
Player of the tournament so far? It might be him or a 16-year-old.
Yeah, it's one of them two, I think. But I just think Kobbie Mainoo, if he has a flyer in the final, but Rodri just looks like he's just above everybody. Maturity, he looks almost like the teacher on the pitch, and the others are just the pupils. That's what it feels like to me. He's got a real calm authority about him in every aspect of his game, and it's weird because I speak to a few of the Spanish ex-players, and I'm going like, okay, where's Rodri rank? You got Xabi Alonso, you got Busquets, and they're like, no, Busquets he's that over there somewhere.
Busquets was unbelievable. I mean,
disgusting.
People. I don't think people realise how.
No.
Yeah.
Unreal. Did I tell you what he said to me once?
Yeah, you've told me this, so you must share this because it's brilliant.
Busquets, mate. We played at Wembley, got absolutely destroyed.
Champions League final, pants pulled down, everything, right? And we're chasing the game, I think 2-1 at the time, closing minutes of the game. And the ball's gone out and he's like wasting time with it. And I've run over to get the ball. You know what you do? Drag the ball off him, give me the ball. And he kind of pulled the ball away and he went, you, Vidic, boom, boom, boom. That long ball. Oh, mate. I wanted the ground to just open up and just swallow me. Just so like dismissive. Yeah.
But what a player.
He didn't look like a football. He was like a stick insect.
I always say, if you saw him in like aisle 9 in Asda, you'd go, I'll destroy him. Put him on a football pitch. There's no way he'd get near me because he doesn't look like one. But you put him on that pitch, mate. He does everything. Yeah. Position, spaces, wait a pass, and then if you press him, his ability to get out of things was just like, wow, phenomenal player.
When the fuck were you last in Asda, by the way?
Sainsbury's, actually.
If you talked a little bit about where the number 9s are in the game now, as a defender now against the ones we've seen perhaps in this tournament, and most of the big ones are aging a little bit. Certainly Ronaldo, obviously, that springs to mind, and even Harry Kane is in his 30s now. Do you think life's quite easy as a central defender with the way a lot of teams have played? You've not seen too many centre forwards or number 9s, whatever you want to call them, getting behind players until perhaps Ollie Watkins came on, made a difference. Morata does it a bit.
Yeah, I just look at it and think, is it a hard day's work as a centre half? I think the most hard work you do for a centre back now is get on the ball. You're asked to dictate the game a lot of the time and control the pace of the game.
Do you think the way teams play now would really have suited you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Like, get on the ball. I saw like my first thought
when
I was a kid.
Boom.
Yeah, I'd have got rid of that. I'd have got rid of that shit. But that was my main thing. Was as a kid growing up was about playing and getting on the ball and trying to take on a centre forward. But I had to shift my mindset to think defence first. And I think if you find the balance in today's game, you'd have a greater chance. But listen, I'm going to St James's and playing against fucking Shearer and Les Ferdinand, or Shearer and Asprilla, or Shearer and Bellamy. Do you know what I mean? Like, fuck it, it's hard work. Like, it's 1v1. Come on, let's go. And it's, I don't care what you say, it's a hard day at the office, even if you win. Or you're going and playing against, I don't know, Ian Wright and Dennis Bergkamp, or Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry, 1v1 on the halfway line. Like, I don't see them battles now. It's like, right, okay, for instance, the two best in the Premier League, my best pairing in the Premier League is Saliba and Gabriel, but one of them's going to go tight and the other one's just going to just chill and wait. And if he gets past him, I'll be there to sweep up then. But it's a really different proposition for a centre-back now. Maybe there's other things they've got to concern them with the wide players coming in as strikers almost.
Yeah, it's kind of a front three rather than two.
So you've got to cover your fullback a bit more and be aware. But it isn't that 1v1 90 minutes going at it, which I think is probably, I look at it and think that would be an easier day at the office for me, I think. What about you? Would you prefer to play now?
No, I think the 9 is without doubt. I mean, dying out, isn't it? I think football's now, we've said it before, is like they're more forwards.
Having said that, you could say Haaland.
Yeah, but he's one of how many?
Yeah.
They're forwards now.
Yeah.
Even
Watkins is a 9.
Yeah,
he likes to spin behind and stuff, and obviously that's a great option that Gareth's got for the final. Again, if it's not quite working, he can try that dip because Harry won't run behind.
But you look at their team. You had like Al, Sheringham, Fowler, Les Ferdinand, Ian Wright,
Cole.
Andy Cole, like Dion Dublin, Stan Collymore. There's 8.
Michael Owen,
there's 9. Do you know what I mean? It was like, and they're all players now would walk into that squad easy.
The squad, definitely.
100%. A lot of them probably start.
I don't think I would.
No, he would.
Yeah.
Who's the you mentioned about the player of the tournament? I mean, it's going to come from a player from England and Spain because you've got Rodri, you've mentioned Mainoo, you've got Saka, even Olmo, Yamal. I mean, whoever performs on Sunday.
Yeah.
Even Bellingham, if he bangs a couple in.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had a kind of mixed tournament, but a couple of unbelievable moments.
He seems like that type of player now, doesn't he? For me,
that Real Madrid thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's been an element of that with England, haven't they? They're like Real Madrid, they somehow do it.
Find a way. They found a way to win by any means, and it doesn't have to be pretty. And I like that.
Yeah.
My team,
Bellingham epitomises that.
Yeah, he does. But my team done that. People because it's gone, and people they kind of fairy tale the situation a little bit. But the real hard facts are that you have to roll your sleeves up sometimes, and grit and resilience gets you through some games, not the quality or the brilliance. But I think England are like that now. But I think Bellingham is I don't think he's one of them. He doesn't need to play well sometimes. It could be scruffy and ugly and miss things, etc. But then if the moment does come, he's one who wants to be that guy to take it. And that's a special
If it fell
trait.
to him with a minute to go,
I'd be quite happy.
You were drawing, you'd take that.
Yeah, I
one.
would, yeah.
And Kane.
Yeah, them two, 100%.
And now Watkins. Oh, what a moment that was, wasn't it?
Given his journey as well, like from Exeter, like to where he is now. And it's, have you spoke to him? He's a lovely guy as well.
I haven't actually.
Yeah,
no.
really, really nice kid.
Yeah.
And I was actually in the
So
team.
is his mum. Did you see the clip?
Oh, yeah. She wasn't messing about, was she? Fucking play him.
Get my son on the fucking pitch. Yeah, I love that. Brilliant.
But no, he's a great guy, great kid.
Yeah. Will England do it?
I've said from the beginning, I think they'll win it. Do you know what I mean? I had a feeling, I don't know what it was and why, the experiences over the last few years, I think they will. I think they will. I think they're the only team that can beat this Spanish team or get close to beating them. Difficult though.
It's going to be hard. It's going to be a buzz doing it on the BBC. We'll all be there. Alan will be co-commentating. You'll be with me. And
where are we going to be? Where are we situated? On the pitch side or?
We're on the ground, behind the goal, on a platform.
Lovely.
We'll be in there. So you got to be there, haven't we?
Oh, mate.
And
we were in suits.
Juan Mata is joining us.
Yeah, he is. I was with him.
Which is great
before.
because he's such a likeable, such an intelligent human being.
It's what you said before, wasn't it? Like, not many people are universally liked.
Yeah.
Normally, there's loads of people that hate him because of the team he played for.
Was he in good form?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he's good. He's a lovely fella. Really nice. I played with him for a couple of years at United. Really good guy.
It's going to be exciting, isn't it?
Yeah, man. What are we wearing, by the way? Is it suits or just casual?
I think we're going smart.
I can wear what I want. I'm on the core so it's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Alan Shearer, he wears what he wants. I'm going suited and booted.
Yeah. Tie?
I'm going to wear a tie, yeah.
Okay,
hides a million sins, a tie at my age.
I'll join you then.
Okay. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
It's been great. That's it for this
You coming
episode.
on mine?
Anytime you like.
come on mine.
I've already
Absolutely.
been on yours.
I know, but
I'll do it again,
years
of course.
ago. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right.
Absolutely. Love to.
Cheers, guys.
On 5.
Perfect.
That's it. That's it for this episode of The Rest is Football. Don't forget, we have another episode today, if you're listening today, so it depends, that's Saturday, with Sid Lowe. If you listen to this late on Sunday, it will be on our feed, so check it out. He tells us all about this Spanish side. He's an expert, and he's got the Spanish football podcast as well. And you'll enjoy that. Great stories about the Williams brothers and Rodri in particular. Micah returns tomorrow, where we'll be previewing the final in detail. Come on, England. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Goodbye for me, guys.
Thanks, Rio.